All right, let's see what all the hype was about. What's up guys, Vinny here with Sneaker Tweaker and welcome back to another video. Today we have the performance review on the 361 AG4. So this one is again made by 361 Degrees or 361 Degrees. Same brand that just recently signed Jokic, which is no surprise because Aaron Gordon's his teammate. So I'm sure that, that had some sort of influence since he was leaving Nike. Not that he had a signature shoe with Nike, but he was essentially signed on as a Nike athlete. He was the face of the GT Jump line, but now he's gone a different direction, which is, I would say, kind of alarming for Nike. I mean, yes and no, because Nike is Nike. However, there are more and more athletes going to these Chinese brands rather than going to like these big brands, and I can't even say just the Chinese brands, but you have like Puma there, which they make really nice basketball shoes now. Adidas has been killing it this year, just absolutely. Anthony Edwards is there, and then just overall like Anta with Kyrie, Clay, and then you have obviously Leaning and Way of Wade, which amazing performers. So these Chinese brands, they're absolutely killing it, and they're giving us, I think, more value for our dollar and essentially better bang for your buck. So don't overlook them. And this is no different, and I think it's really a great shoe, and let's get into as to why. As always though, let's start it off with the traction. Now the 361 Degrees AG4 features a multi-directional traction pattern, which essentially looks like a herringbone traction pattern. Essentially that's what it is, but it kind of looks like it's going like a radial herringbone traction pattern. It's like a mixture of the two, and then you do have like these kind of circular parts at the tips of it, which honestly the traction, I would say, worked super amazingly. It's super grippy. I was playing on these in dusty settings, clean settings, any setting. These things were biting. These things were not only biting, but these things were also super loud. So like, if you like that squeakiness and that feedback from a shoe, these things are going to deliver, and they're going to deliver some extra with it. That's no joke. These things are super loud. On top of that, they're super durable. I played in these for a while, and honestly, with the way I play, I pretty much beat up my shoes and really put the traction and just the outsole to work. A lot of other shoes, and you can, go back to the GT Cut 3, $190 shoe. My traction was wearing down on that. This one, much cheaper. Traction, still good. And then on top of that, the overall experience, I would say, was pretty similar in the sense of just performance. And these things were just, honestly, I feel like leaps and bounds ahead as far as like durability goes. So the traction, I gotta say, it is pretty damn elite. So for those of you that want a shoe that, has a great foundation, not only that has a durable foundation, these would be absolute money. On top of that, because of that durability, if you guys are playing outdoors or wanting to play outdoors, I would say this is a pretty safe bet to last a lot longer than most other shoes on the market, particularly if you're looking at more so like Nike. I would say Nike, yeah, because even Adidas does pretty good when it comes to outdoors. Puma, I would say, still does better than Nike. Chinese brands though, I feel like they do the best when it comes to it because of the type of rubber that they use, because of the locations they're at. More people do play outdoors than they do here. Indoor ball is more prominent here. Not to say that outdoor ball isn't, but indoor ball, you gotta admit, in the States is more prominent. Now for the cushion on the AG4s, it features a full-length carbon critical midsole, which is a drop-in midsole. So the drop-in aspect is pretty cool. You do see a lot of other shoes now doing it prominently. You'll have also the Way of Wade brand, or the Wade 8083 line, and then lately you've also, I believe in the last 2-3 years, you have the serious player only shoes doing, and primarily and only focusing on drop-in midsoles. All of their shoes are all drop-in midsoles. So for those of you that love drop-in midsoles, this thing has it, and it does a pretty damn good job. I would say the cushion is not too much, not too little. It's kind of like just right. For me, I feel like could have used a little bit more in the forefoot, and I do say that about certain shoes, ones that are low profile like this, I guess I would say. For me, I guess I was a little confused in the sense that Aaron Gordon, for how big he is and the way he plays, I would think, with him, he would essentially just want more cushion, full length. However, guess the role he used to play with the Magic and everything isn't necessarily the same as what he's playing with Denver. I mean, he was the primary scorer over there. Over here, he's what, the third, maybe fourth option. But again, he is a bigger dude, so I just assumed the cushion was going to be a little bit more beefier. However, I do understand as to why he's not jumping as much as he used to. He's not dunking the way he used to. He's just more focused on doing all the little things, kind of like, Vince Carter towards the tail end of his career. I'm not saying Aaron Gordon's at the tail end of his career. I think he's still got a good amount of time being a really solid role player, but I just thought it was going to be more. So that's just my bad because of my expectations. For what it is though, it is a pretty good setup. And I think most people will like it, especially if you play more, guard positions or wing positions, you'll really like it. For big men, I would say potentially it might not be enough. It's just also dependent on your play style. So if you are, slasher, cutting to the basket, jumping, maybe more cushion. But if you are, playing more on the wing, scorer, shooter, this will work great. Now for the fit, the AG4s fit true to size, just lengthwise, widthwise, I think it fit perfectly. Didn't really have any issues as far as breaking it in. It was, I would say, kind of like medium foot friendly, if that, if that's a word. But I'm making it a word if it's not. Medium foot friendly, and then also lengthwise, like I said, worked absolutely amazingly. No break-in time whatsoever, nothing else to say. For the upper, you do have a kind of, I guess, a mixture of materials, a lot of synthetics, a lot of TPU, fuse, textiles, all of that good stuff, all on there, and all really actually super durable. So the tongue actually reminds me of the GT Cut, or not GT Cut, GT Jump tongue, which is kind of funny but basing it off of Jokic going from Nike to 361. And again, the tongue is very reminiscent of that. The ankle collar though, like the height, kind of the Soar version. This is the Soar version. I don't know if I mentioned that earlier, but this is the AG4 Soar. And the Soar version essentially is more kind of like built to be like bulkier and just more like, it gets in the way for like bigger players, ankle support, all of that. And with that ankle support comes this high top version of it. For me, whenever I crank down the laces on this, it kind of hurt my ankles and kind of like dug into them a little bit. But kind of the more you play in it, the more it breaks in, I guess I should say. And it doesn't really bother it as much. And eventually it kind of like, it goes away. This is their quick lock system, the lacing system that they have, and I feel like every brand has like a different version of it. The Fresh Foam BBV2s, again, it's a very similar system to that, and like I said, a lot of brands kind of opt to do this, and especially recently, I feel like it's been more and more. But the shoe in itself, overall, great performer, great. I mean, this one, you're not really going to get much torsional rigidity. It's pretty damn flexible. So for those of you who, want that torsional rigidity, it's not going to be as present in this. And you do have this like TPU shank that's right in the middle. It kind of protrudes out of the outsole, but it's not going to be anything crazy. Now, you do also have this giant TPU piece on the lateral side, and then the AG logo as well to help with support, and then just textiles all over, and then you do have fuses right here. So the shoe, I feel like, for what it is and what you're getting, it works absolutely great. And I feel like for a similar shoe, you're going to pay a lot more for certain other brands. Y'all know what I'm talking about. So, it is what it is. Now, as for the weight on the AG4 Soars, these things in a size 9 weigh in at 1 pound and 0.4 ounces. Pretty damn heavy actually. So yeah, 1 pound and 4 ounces. And then as for the price, these retail in at $140. That being said, again, I have seen similar shoes from other brands with, the same tech, if not less, costing more. So do with that information as you will. And the regular version of these, last year, I believe it was cost about $100. So pretty much the same shoe. I feel like there was very minor differences, but again, $100 for pretty much the same shoe. I think that was a steal. I do also want to shout out 361 for sending these over for testing. Again, I'm not obligated to make this review or anything like that, or not, I guess nothing like that, but like I'm not obligated to praise them and say all these good things. There are parts where I was critical, and there are parts where they did really well. pricing, performance, really great. But again, huge shout out to them for sending these over to test out. I feel like, you know, they're going in a really good direction, and with Jokic on there, I think they're going to sign even more players, and you have all these other Chinese brands signing more and more players. I'm super excited for basically what's going on in this realm, in this basketball sneaker world, and I think all this competition is just going to make for great products for us as consumers. Not only that, but we're also, I feel like, because it's going to be so competitive in such a competitive space, we're going to get better products for better prices. So it's a good time to be a basketball sneakerhead. It's a good time to be a sneaker tweaker. You heard it here first, folks. Now, a lot of people also ask us where we get our basketball socks from. The answer is from Amazon. They come in a pack of 3 that costs just as much as 1 pair of Nike Elite socks. The ones we have are these 2 muted colors, which the white one and the black one, and they are quarter length. So if you guys like quarter length, they have them available in that, but they also have them in the high top version. Like I said, they come in a pack of 3 that costs just as much as the Nike Elites, and these are pretty much the same thing, but without the Nike branding. They're cushioned, they're ventilated, and they're amazing socks, and they last a long time. If you guys do want a pair, hit the link in our description down below and go grab yourselves a pack. Not a pair, grab yourselves a pack. If you've played in the 361 AG4 or AG4 Soars before, let us know your experience down below. For more content like this, please like, subscribe, and follow. We'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.